Hello everyone! Welcome back, and I just realized my sound isn't coming through my headset. One moment. Oh, what fun. Yeah, so that's supposed to come through there. Uh-huh. Are you really not going to give me sound anymore, game? I'm sorry I've offended you. Really? Are you going to make me reset the game? Well, what fun. No, I'm not finished playing the game. You won't let me hear it. Well, we're off to a great start, folks, but I hope everyone's having a good day, evening, whatever. There we go. Now I'm hearing stuff. Alright. Last we left off, Mr. Windibank got shot and Gina looks like she's gonna get framed for it. That's about it. Gunshot noise. Ah! Says someone. It'll be alright, Mr. Naruhodo. After them, go! Says, I think, Sholmes. Behind that door, in the storeroom. Hurry! Hey kids, want to see a dead body? It's Gina? No, I didn't hit auto. Do not auto scroll. I can't read that fast. From that moment, Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning, and Sholmes' death. It was just before dawn before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221B. This isn't our lodgings, this is our office. Always keep the two separate. Oh, Iris. A telegram came. But says what all it said was wait at home. Oh, yes, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back. When I woke up, I was all alone. Early and Ginny were gone. Everyone was gone. What happened, Ryuno? Poor Iris, she's trembling. We can't animate it, so trust me. She's obviously trying very hard to not let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know. Something awful has happened, hasn't it? Yes, I'm afraid so. Oh, I can't move. Here, let me present you something. Here's my armband. No, don't inspect it. That's for later. Would you mind if I show you this, Iris? It's just a boring old thing, really, but... Oh, I don't really like boring things. Ah. It looks like Japanese modesty is easily misinterpreted by young Western children. I mean, who does like boring things? No one wants to be shown something boring. Come to think of it, you're always introducing things with, this is boring, but It's a bad habit. You should stop it. King of Isis, thank you for the 18-month resub. I'll be sure to let the entire population of the Empire of Japan know on my return. But also, you've perked up. Hey, we've done it. Let's start things from the back. Where's Susie, Runo? She's still at the police station. Oh, why? I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while. Why aren't you there, then? Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. And Miss Susanna stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sholmes, so they didn't get started until later. Oh, I see. Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. And I drew the short straw. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early. I think at least that's what I think he said. You should have let me know and I would have come to the station. So where's Early then? Is he still investigating the scene? He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals. I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Sholmes. He was taken to the hospital this morning. What? Well, when we entered Windibank, a gun was fired, and he took a bullet. Early? He was shot? No. It's all right. His life isn't in danger. Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital? He's at St. Is that St. Sinners? I interpret that as St. Sinners. They're tending to him here. I must see him at once. I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't. Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed. No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see. To operate? Opa Orly. It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Windibank's shop. They shot Mr. Holmes when we disturbed them, you see. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After them! Go! Owie! After that, I ran out into the street, but... well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I let them get away. I think that's a very good thing. Sorry? Well, if you had seen which way they went and chased after them, you might have been shot as well, Runo. On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that. Oh, Iris. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Windibank is dead. Woo! He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning. And oddly enough, wasn't self-inflicted. Either that or he had some really nice contortioning with like the bending over his shoulder. Oh, yes, I had a feeling. You did? Well, I saw all those police carriages pulling up outside his shop. You need at least 3 to carry him out. So I knew something must have happened there. When we entered Windibank in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out into the street, and I chased after them, but they got away. So it was one of them who shot old Mr. Windibank, I suppose? I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment. Oh, why not? They've arrested someone else as their prime suspect, you see. Gina. Ginny? But why? Well, the thing is... No! Ginny wouldn't do something like that! I know. None of us think she did it. Then why'd they arrested her? I'm sorry. There was nothing I could do. I don't understand why they arrested Ginny. It's not fair. What about the two thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Early dead, didn't they? No, I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris. Oh, this is all so horrible. The thing is, Mr. Windibank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all of the deposited articles. And the storeroom door was locked from the inside. I see. But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well. Oh no! And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards... Don't tell me there was no one else in the room? Yes, exactly. How'd you know? It's the only explanation. Okay, you know what? I'm calling it now. The thugs, whoever they may be, I don't have an idea who they are, but they shot Mr. Windibank through the window in the door. That's why the wound is on the back of his shoulder. But he was looking at Gina, who was also in the room, who had his gun. And she fired it at whoever was also in the window. Let's see how that pans out. What do you mean by that, Runo? Well? What can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't. I mean, this is Ace Attorney, so there could be like 3 different twists before we get to that conclusion, but that's my 2 cents. I'm afraid I need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment, but I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gina are getting on. I want to go too! Take me with you, Runo! Dear God, no. I do not want to do this accent for a whole nother session. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting. I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to a scene of a murder. I don't want to leave her all alone here either. Okay, empty house or murder crime scene, Ryunosuke, pick one. Neither are good, but one is definitely worse than the other. Okay, wrong choice, but alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me. Oh yes, I'd love to! Gina's at the prison. Mr. Sholmes is probably in his hospital bed at St. Sinners. I don't care. I know some people saying it could be signers. I like sinners. It's a pun. And don't forget we have to visit the crime scene. I need to conduct a thorough investigation. Ah, I can see you're ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. Let's go find Miss Susanna. Susanna, I have someone to swap out with you. No? Oh, she's busy. Yep, and he's eating those fries. Chips, sorry. Hello, Gina. They let you keep that? Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Early and I made! I wish you wouldn't point at me all the time, though. What are you here for? Ginny? I have a feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble. So we were thinking that we might be able to help you. Well, you can't. Sorry? Yeah, get lost. Don't be like that, Ginny. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't. With bullets, anyway. Blackfoot Ferret, thank you for the 38-month resub. You think you know me? Pull the other one. Oh! You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. If I saw the chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop any day of the week. Boston. She's from Boston now. Just to see what I could lay my hands on. Get it? That's the kind of person I am. But Ginny... I'll be in court tomorrow, they said. Some Cole came by and said he'd be a lawyer for me and the like. Said it was my right or something. But I told him to get stuffed. I don't need no lawyer. I don't need no one. She couldn't be staring at me any more obviously if she tried. I pickpocket accents too. That's a good cover, Magnesium. I'm gonna stick to it. She's just sorting through all the accents she's stolen over the years. Why are you being like this? Why are you being like this, Ginny? Be that way. Bye. I didn't expect you to leave. Early. Oh. He's not? Oh, he's not here. No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in bed by the window, didn't he? Oh, I know what's probably happened. Early was being a big baby, and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home. I'm not so sure about that. Baby or not, there's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Sholmes suffered. Oh! Ooh, who could this be? Hello, what have we here? Oh. This ward is off limits! No visiting! So what you doing here in here, eh? Well, I'll have you know what Early's next of kin. Eh? Oh. Well, begging your pardon then, ma'am, sir. A little lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. A great mystery solver is a mysterious family, eh? If that's how you see us, I'm sure. Where is he, Constable? Where's Early? I believe he's currently in the operating theatre, ma'am, undergoing an extensive operation. Extensive? Has been several hours since he went in. Oh dear, is he going to be alright? Well, it doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anesthetic, that is. Oh! I've heard a report the gentleman claims he may have had a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. Anyway, it would be fair to assume they won't be back here for several hours yet. I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later. Oh, poor Early! Just hit him with a giant mallet. That's how it works in the movies. I'm not going to see Gina. I'm not going to go see Gina. She specifically said she doesn't want an attorney. So there we go. We're done with her.
This is where it happened then, last night.
That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place, looking for valuables. They smashed a single plate and nothing else moved. They didn't even take a shovel.
But, apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance.
No, you're right about that, actually.
In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking.
I don't know what you mean. They're like I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals, all dressed in black. And oh man, it doesn't have the screen. It doesn't have the context of their cop, but I'm still taking it. Oh, I heard that. Oh, it's you. Oh, Inspector. Good morning.
Huh. I suppose I ought to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind.
Yes, I'm sorry about that.
I thought you had signed extra men to the beat around here, Gregsy. Now look what's happened. Earl's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty.
Your ladyship! No one told me you were coming.
I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Early and see if he has the very best medical care.
Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital are attended to him as a speak.
And I don't think it's Ryuno's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job.
Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am, as you say. The Gin in Black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that.
For once. Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about personality change. He even put his chips away.
Oh, where are my manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you like some juice? Some nice refreshing fruit juice? I've got plenty of fruits, just let me give them a squeeze.
Oh, what? Are you thirsty, Gregsy? I have some of my special herbal tea with me if you like some.
Oh, lovely! Thank you very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship.
I don't even recognize him like this. So, how's the investigation going, Inspector?
Nothing to it, really. Very simple case, this. There's some very definite evidence. Look, see that letter on the floor that said, "I did it," and it's signed by Gina? That's all we need. We're just about to charge that diver we arrested last night, in fact.
Gina, you're going to charge her?
That's right. Should be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow.
Man, the turnaround on these cases are spectacular.
Definite evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me.
Your ladyship, as much as I'd like to oblige you, I'm afraid.
Oh, I see. You already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you?
What the?
And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are ya?
How could you? How? How could you possibly know that?
I had a feeling, that's all.
Remind me never to try to keep a secret from Iris. So you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Sholmes, have you?
Well, yeah, so they were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat.
And Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison?
She should be.
Well, we know that.
That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course.
Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition?
Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential.
Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinner's. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know.
I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital's policy, no visiting at all.
Oh!
The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood.
Oh no.
He didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so, but then he kept gesticulating and posing and the blood just went everywhere. But a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes pipe down.
Mr. Sholmes is a human like the rest of us, you know.
Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right now. They gotta stop that bleeding.
But he'll be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make him better.
Of course, your ladyship. He'll be right as rain before you know it.
Really? How do you know?
How do I know? Well, because, of course. Oh, yes, because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective. That's why.
We'd better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again.
Oh dear, please don't die early. I'm a girl, so I can't inherit property.
I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theater.
That was a joke, by the way. I couldn't help noticing, Inspector.
What? Out with it, sunshine!
Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris.
What's the sauce, Sonny? I'm a copper and we don't go in for favoritism.
But he's right, you do treat us differently.
It's 'cause of those adventures of Herlock Sholmes stores, that's why.
Oh.
I crop up in them, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson.
Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Early's.
What did you write about the inspector, Iris?
I don't remember, really.
That was one of Sholmes' lines. Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it.
Which could easily be a dig against Scotland Yard as much as a compliment towards you.
Oh, did I write that?
And you know what that one line did for me? Eh? The very next month my pay doubled! Doubled, I tell you!
Oh, that's amazing.
All because everyone at the yard reads them. They read all of the Herlock Sholmes stories. They've even set up a fan club for me.
Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time you became such a toady to me.
Can you blame me? All it takes is one bad word from you and Sholmes would change his tune about me. Gregson? No, the great detective will say, he's getting quite overrated these days. Think what would happen to my salary if that came out in print, eh? The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I lost worrying about it.
But that would never happen, Gregson.
Every month, when the new Ranch magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages.
Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves.
lovely. Very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship.
Teetotal.
Oh yeah, there's something I was supposed to talk to you about, really, Mr. Naruhado.
Yes, what is it?
I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now.
An important message? I wonder what it could be. Red Gambit, thank you for the 8-month resub. So close to having our baby. Get a name ready for him. Or her. Or even they. Are you going to tell me what this important message is then, Inspector?
Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side, your assistant. She's dead.
Dear Susie, is she alright?
She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe.
Nope, not anymore. She had to head off.
Head off? Where?
Lord Strongheart's office, of course. He summoned her.
Yes, of course. I forgot about that.
One of the whipstocks took her there in the yard carriage after we finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you that she didn't have she didn't have the fare for the return journey, and to go and meet her there. She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a bloomin' messaging service.
I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector.
Why did Susie have to go see the Lord Chief Justice?
She didn't tell me. I better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. Let me guess, they're gonna stop me from doing this, aren't they?
Alright then, let's see what we can uncover.
Oh, what do you think you're doing, Sunshine? You can't touch anything in here.
Oh, but we were hoping to investigate. You know, the thing lawyers are able to do.
This is a crime scene, for Pete's sake. No touching.
What's the problem, Greg? Ryuno's a lawyer, you know that.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry, your ladyship. Ever so sorry. The rules and regulations are a thorn in my side. Of course, if Mr. Naruto was been properly appointed by the accused, that'd be another matter.
The accused?
If you could show me some representation papers, I'd be only too happy to let you nose around.
Did you hear that, Ryuno? You need Ginny to sign some representation papers.
It looks like presenting the detective here with the correct paperwork is my only way. Well, bye. Quick, let's pick her up. Let's go. Oh, sorry, had to do a stretch there. Long day. Yes. No matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow. Somehow?
Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal.
How so?
I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you?
Maybe it thinks the same about you. I'm gonna go ahead and guess this is the Lord Strongheart. Oh, EPAM, thank you for the 58-month resub. 58 months. That must have been as long as we've been streaming. It feels like it. Says the guy who only started about half a year ago. Day 1 sub, that tracks. So everything is... No, that's way too hoarse. So everything is clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust. Yes, thank you very much. Hey, I finally got it right. There they are. Susanna-san and Lord Strongheart.
I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious.
Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland. This feels like it could have been a telegram. Wait, what did he just say? Your return to your homeland? Susanna-san!
Oh!
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. What was all that about? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you for coming to collect your colleague. She really does not go with the room. What's all this about? Why are you talking about Miss Suzaru's return to her homeland? And tomorrow? Oh my gosh, Iris is gonna be our judicial assistant. Oh no. No.
Tomorrow? But what about Ginny's trial?
You mean she's been formally charged now? Oh dear. Miss Susanna, what's all this about?
What's all this about?
Please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. Our stipend is nearly blown. Oh, what? No, I didn't know. Your life here can continue just as... That's not what I asked! What happened? Why are you leaving? I thought we were going to ship together. It's my father. He's fallen ill.
Oh no!
Professor Mikitoba? Or is it? You know, I'm starting to think it's Mikitoba. This is a flashback. I'm not doing this again. Yeah. Eugen. We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news. 10 days ago, Father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown, and it seems he grows weaker day by day. Have fun with the month-and-a-half boat trip back. I don't believe it. As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. Oh yeah, closer to 2 months. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Miss Suzaru's departure as much as possible. Yes, absolutely. I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning. I can't believe this is happening. Oh man. Sorry, I'm kind of sucked out of this for a second. I'm just thinking 50 days on a boat, not knowing if your father's already dead. That sounds like torture. Oh, sorry, zoned out there for a sec. So Gina has been charged? She'll have to appear in court? Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the day of the trial has been already set for tomorrow. No, not even 24 hours later? What's with this country? Gina? Ah, the Lestrade girl and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. An all too transpicious case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in panic. No, the yard is overstretched as it is, without wasting time on this open and shut case. It's not wasting time! Ginny would never do something like that! Who is this small child and why is she here? Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes, Lord Strongheart? In deference to your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. Why am I responsible for her? She has a rocket launcher shoved up somewhere. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave now. Whew. Of course, Lord Strongheart. Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend. Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday? Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday. It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. "3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me." There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart. Which is? It's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her? A timely suggestion. Sorry? The girl currently has no representation. But that's not fair! Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial! Iris, we already went to see her. She refused the representation she was given. Which I'm sure is what you're about to say. Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do that? Hell if I know. A question you would do well to direct at Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison. We only have one. Stuffed to the gills after we filled up the tower. Yes, thank you. Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you. I hear public defenders even today are woefully unprepared, though. Yes, in some districts, there is a definite problem of too many accused, too few defenders, and they have not a lot of time to look at cases. Which, of course, has a plea deal problem, because the defense attorney is immediately going to go, okay, I have like 10 more people I have to talk to today. You got a plea deal? Take it. I don't care if you didn't do it. Take the plea deal. But that's a political issue. Because of resource management. Gina charged with murder? Susanna-san about to leave. And I'm stuck with Iris? No! I've done this bit already. Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Iris, we must make haste. But, Susie! You're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can. Thank you, Mr. Zato. That's a very pensive look. If I'm honest, this is me completely thrown off. I'll just have to do what I can. As a lawyer. I've examined this office too many times to care. Bye. Seems like we've done all the pretense we need to finally get her to accept our help. Local prison. Also known as local prison. Hey! Hello again, Gina.
What are you here for now?
To have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in our faces yet again, obviously.
I think I need to improve the way you load ammunition into that thing, don't I? Look! You can come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing more to say to you.
Well, I have plenty to say to you. I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away?
You want me to sign some papers. Representation papers or something like that. It's all got to be rigged anyway, the whole trial. They'll pin it on me because I a kid. That's what grown-ups always do. Why do you think that? Because that's how it has always been for me, growing up in the back slums, my whole life. If you do what the grown-ups tell you, it'll get your mates dragged off to the coppers or worse. I've had it happen to me before and all. Been sold out and nearly snaffled by the neck by the back of it. You can't trust no one, that's the point. So if, as you do, you're done to grass dead.
Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial, I could... Forget it!
Gina! Don't you trust Runo?
Nah, I don't.
Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone. No.
Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night at the pawnbrokers.
There's nothing to tell. I figured it'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. But the old bloke walked on me, and you know the rest. But why, Ginny? Why would you do that? Ain't it obvious? The place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two. Diving ain't easy, you know. It's a lot of work, and half the time you don't even get nothing.
Is that really why you broke into the place?
What?
Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else?
Oh, give it a rest. What'll be the point anyway, eh? Nothing I could say would make a blind bit of difference. Please tell us, Ginny. We'll believe you, whatever it is. Believe me? Don't be daft. You believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what? When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies, I have. What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies?
What unforgivable lies? What do you mean before, Gina, when you said you were the biggest liar of the lot? I'm sorry, the biggest liar of the lot. Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you told are? Maybe we can help. Setting yourself up to fail, Runo.
Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna want to question me now. Ginny, please.
Oh, yeah. I want to give you this. Something to remember me by. Flip the picture around, flip it around, flip it around, flip. A photographic print of a really adorable cat. I found it in one of the pockets of this coat. Ain't no point in me having it.
I wonder what this little photograph like that was doing in the pocket of an overcoat.
Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye.
Oh, Ginny.
The white cat photograph has been added into the court record. Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say.
What?
I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell.
Farewell?
Tomorrow I must begin my journey back home to Japan. I fear we may never meet again.
Oh, right.
I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable.
Susie? Well, that ain't my business.
Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They've put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them.
Yeah, that's right, I can't. What of it?
It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you.
Because of you! What? It's my fault?
Yes, so I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now, I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be.
What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do,
You've told us that everyone lies.
So prove it, by admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies.
You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant.
No, I can't.
Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? The one in which Maddox McGilded was acquitted? Hold on, I wanna enjoy the theme here for a sec.
Vibe to that organ music.
Alright. The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about?
Yeah, you're right. Because, in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe.
Will you tell us about it now? Please don't tell it in that accent.
Oh, a whole new converse tree. Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand.
And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilded was declared innocent.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff.
I knew it. What sort of thing did you lie about?
I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. It was pitch black in that little cubbyhole. I couldn't see a thing, and then... thud. I heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor. And that's when Mr. McGilda discovered you? Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. There wasn't much light to see by. When I looked at me hands, I had the cove's blood all over them. I was so scared, I couldn't even speak. You had his blood in your hands? In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses saw on the roof, that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight. Then Mr. McGilda started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were, and why you were hiding under the seat. Yeah, he did, only... that's not all. What do you mean? I mean, he threatened me. Threatened you how? He made me swear at what I'd seen and what I'd heard. And about what was gonna do after the cove was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scarp her before the coppers showed up. Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. Oh my gosh. I don't have the strength. Alright, I'm actually... yeah, we're at the hour mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and say let's take a short break. I need to go to the bathroom and get more water to start this vicious cycle all over again. So enjoy the apprehensive music. Alright, I'm back. I'm rehydrated. Oh, Smessy Lee, thank you for the kind words. Alright. Alright, Ginny. What did you see? You said McGilda made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw. But you were in the pitch black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you? Yes, with Mr. McGilda sitting above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true, but... it was when I heard the thud of the coves hitting the floor, I let a little scream, see, couldn't help it. McGilda heard that and dragged me out by my arm. That's when he saw it. It was on the floor next to the old geezer where I had been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny. A disc? Do you mean... yeah, that's it. The one what the D took off me at Windibank's. So the music box disc, as it were. So the music box disc was there on the floor of the omnibus? Not for long, McGilda had spotted it straight away. He picked it up smartish and stuffed it up inside his pocket. So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder. And the bog trotter told me I weren't to mutter a word of it to no one. Because it was dark under the seat in that cab. I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin. Presumably that was McGilda getting on board. Nah, not only him. Oh! Because I would definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people. In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGilda and the victim. The Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilda claimed he slept during the carriage ride. La-di-da, here's me Irish accent mixed with some Waluigi. Wah! And your own testimony, Gina, supported his. Yo, this is me talking in like 6 different accents every other word. Yeah, that weren't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear them talking the whole time in low voices. What? What were they talking about? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and the wheels were too loud. But that still tells us something. Mr. McGilded and the victim knew each other. So McGilded was lying, as I suspected. I knew it were going to take long before someone raised the alarm after that bloke had been killed. After that bloke had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. So when the cab came to a stop, McGilded told me to hide back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The two culls from up top ran off to get the coppers. Yes, Mr. Fairplay, the juror, and Mr. First. Right, and after they'd gone, McGilded asked the driver to do him a favor. A favor? A favor. Lardy-toddy-doddy-dee-doo-doo. Oh wait, this is new dialogue. Now then, fella, what I need for you to do is take this colt of mine and deposit it at a nearby pawnbroker. With a nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let me see now. I'll give you 10 guineas. Beppo just wanted to be warned. A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street? Yep, you got it. It was Windibank's. The coachie snapped up the money and ran off to pop this colt in as fast as he could. So then there was no one left in the carriage. McGilded opened up the box under the seat and let me get out of there. But not without conditions. Yeah, no. For some reason, Beppo didn't speak any of this up. Though I guess at that point, with this guildmaster in the jury, it was probably a bad look. I see. What were McGilded's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean. Not telling a soul. Not for anything. Anything. Not what I saw, not what I heard. And there was something else as well. There's more? Yeah. This is the most important thing, he said. Ting. Ooh, that's actually a nice look. I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me. Oh wait, this is back to McGilded. I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything in Olden and all? You asked him to go pop your weasel, right? Aye, the thing's been in me overcoat to deposit at a pawnbroker hereabouts. I want you, lass, to take the redemption ticket for it. You understand? What? You mean me to add the ticket? That's right. And I'll come fetch it for you later, sometime within the next 2 months. You'll have to hang on to it until then, is that clear? Whatever you do, don't lose it. Alright then. And in case I might happen to be delayed at all, you to go to the pawn shop, Windibank so it is, and you to extend the loan afore the 2 months is up. And if you forget, the article will be forfeited and any old thing can come along and buy it. But I ain't got that kind of brass. Here's £5, that should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now. If you go against me... yeah, I got it. Good. And one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, if I've no doubt. The coppers? Aye. They'll come asking you to take the stand in court to testify as a witness. So let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What's it take? What is it that ye might say? And what it is ye want? Conversation incurs. After he'd gone it all, I picked it. Got as far away from there as I could. Piked it. He'd hid the brokers to get some in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark. So McGilded planned it. And coerced Gina into giving false testimony. Well, Gina, I might be able to get you out of this
charge, but there's also a perjury charge coming that I'm not going to try and stop. We all are slaves to the truth! I bet you're ready to string me up, eh? I lied. In that big old courtroom, I told some corkers. The thing is, he said he would make it so we couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he threatened me with. What a wicked man! He knew everything what went in the black slums. Oh, that was a mess. He knew we had no one to look after us. And we was all looking after each other, getting by together. So you mean Mr. McGilded would have... In a heartbeat, he would have had us chased out there if he wanted. And then where would he have gone, eh? Nowhere, that's where. So, I didn't have no choice. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything. I hereby proclaim you guilty. But I'm in for it now, eh? Go on, admit it. You must be livid. Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor. Favor. A favor? What? Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial. Eh? If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us. Investigate what? The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sholmes was stopped. Mr. Sholmes was shot, you see. You what? Early's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is he gonna be alright? Sholmes is gonna be alright, right? I want to see Quinn have to voice Iris, Gina, and McGilded in one dialogue. I swear to God, if McGilded's not actually dead and that happens, I'm quitting. That will be the end of Our Attorney Plays Ace Attorney. With me throwing my keyboard in the air and finally calling someone else to help me do the voices. That's why I want to investigate, for Mr. Sholmes' sake as much as anything. Right. So what you're saying is, if I sign that bit of paper, everyone's happy, is that it? Something like that. Miss Susanna? Yes, of course! I have the representation papers here. I mean, yeah, if you break it down to actual perjury, how many, like, it feels like almost every witness in this game has perjured themselves in one way or another. I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer or nothing. She just puts a giant X on the papers, doesn't she? Poor Ginny, she seems so lonely. Hooray, let's get out of here. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Windibank now. Yes, and perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done there. Is duress a defense to perjury? I would say it depends on the kind of duress the person is put under. The problem is, because he was threatening her not with, I'm going to hurt you. He was threatening her with, I'm going to run the homeless people out of the East End. Which is awful, but if he went through the proper channels, not necessarily a crime. Which, you know, is some extra commentary if you think about it. Oh yeah, no, the Ace Attorney, if the Ace Attorney games gave any crap about perjury, I don't think they'd be made. I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. except for other lawyers. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us from investigating at Windibank's. Although something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. Oh, wait, again? So I could have done this yesterday and actually gotten this in about 2 hours. Great. So here we are again with the dilemma of hour and 20 minutes have gone by. I'm not going to have this fierce debate with myself. Honestly, today was a very busy day and I'm actually quite tired. I'm going to take the easy way out. Sorry, folks. I've been helping with filming all day. Filming what? Not going to tell you, but I've been doing it and I have been tired. Like I was psyching myself up to do the stream today, so I'm not going to push myself too hard. However, yeah, who knows? Maybe the next one's also an hour long. But don't worry, I'm not just going to leave you hanging on a dead stream. Let's see who else I can pass you off to. If my phone will load stream recommendations, which it's having trouble with. Oh, what fun. Awkward silence. I'm going to try and avoid it. Yeah, let's have a conversation about that. Let's talk about Sora. Sora and Smash. I find it incredibly hilarious that wrenching that out of Disney's hands was so painful. It's like, you can't put Donald and Goofy in the background. Make it a star in a boat. That amuses me greatly. But I do also appreciate the lengths people would have to go to get that license. Oh, actually, you know what? Taka's doing New World, and I don't think we've rated Taka in forever. I've been interested in New World, but I haven't gotten around to getting it myself. So I'll send you guys over to Taka, because, hey, I might watch that too. Taka's in a new world with a new avatar, and it's gonna be great. Just great. 2, 1. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.